Hey everyone, this is Rod. You know, there's a deception out there right now, and which divides the country. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, this deception, this division doesn't have to be that way. And it's been that way for a long time where, we have two sides, of politics. And in these two sides of politics, we want to win, you know, and we want to win at all costs, meaning we want to put out all these stories out there and we want to exaggerate and we want to believe it, and we have to keep in mind that, we're one country, we're one group. And just because a story is out there and because a lot of people are telling these stories, you know, doesn't mean that we have to pick a side, latch onto these stories, and act as if these stories are true. Like right now, one of the strong stories out there is, voter fraud. One side of politics is talking about voter fraud, and the followers of that one side, a lot of the followers of that one side, not the majority, but a lot of them, have latched onto this ideal of voter fraud. And one of the reasons why they've latched onto it is because the leader of this particular party has put it out there and said that there is voter fraud. This leader said that before the election, there's voter fraud. During the election, there's voter fraud. After the election, there's voter fraud. But really, in the history of our country, there's been minimum voter fraud. Minimum. Like, for example, last year, not last year, but the last election in 2016, the number of cases of voter fraud, guess how much it was? How many? 4. Just 4. 4 cases. And this year, the number of cases, guess how many? So far, as of this recording, how many cases there are of voter fraud? 0. None. But when you have a powerful figure put it out there that there's voter fraud, and this powerful figure is saying that they have evidence of voter fraud. Well, since there's two parties and people want to win in their party, they're latching onto these ideas of voter fraud because their leader said there was voter fraud. But the problem is there's no proof. There never has been any proof in our country of voter fraud. There just hasn't been. Our country just doesn't work that way. But we release this propaganda out to the public, and some of the public believes it or buys into it. Or maybe they don't believe it and they just want to win, so they pretend like they believe it. But either way, it creates this division and it hurts the country. The thing about with people and leaders that are putting out this idea of voter fraud so they can win, or so they can at least look like they won even though they know they haven't won, what it does is it hurts followers. It hurts followers because followers are believing in leaders, and one day, sooner or later, the followers are going to find out the truth. And they're going to find out as time goes on. Right now we're in the middle of it, but they're going to find out as time goes on that maybe their leader wasn't honest with them. And when they find that out, that's going to hurt. Or they went down and wasted all this emotion on this idea of voter fraud, and it turns out there's no voter fraud. And that's going to hurt because they wasted energy. If they even buy into it, they may even go into denial. So, as leaders, we got to think about, I want our leaders to think about the country and the people. We're all Americans. Regardless of what party we're on, we are all Americans. And, and it's got to be based on truth. We can't undermine our system to win. We can't do that in our country with so much at stake, with so many people to get hurt. Because the thing is, our system will not be undermined. It just won't be. But people within our country, they're going to be hurt. They're going to be hurt because they're buying into propaganda that's not true. They're trusting a propaganda. They're trusting the source, and they're going to find out later that the source betrayed them. Anyway, that's all I have on that one, everyone. So peace and hope. Hey everyone, this is Rod. Thanks for listening. Hey, check out one of my 3 books on Amazon. Let me know what you think by rating a book. Thanks a lot.